The sky was dark. The stars were twinkling. But this night was different from all others. Time seemed to have shattered like a mirror. Its pieces scattered all round. People were lost among these fragments, unable to remember the past or contemplate the future. Everyone was forced to live only in the present moment. But this moment was constantly changing. There was one person, different from the rest. Hita had forgotten his name, for names had lost their meaning. Every morning, as he watched the sunrise, his eyes would drift to the great crack in the sky. Perhaps that was where time had broken. That crack seemed like a door opening into an endless void. That day, something different happened. A woman appeared before him, her eyes as bright as the stars. "I've been waiting for you," said the woman. Her voice flowed like a melody from beyond time. "In this world where time has broken, we can be complete together." The woman extended a small, intricate device she held in her hand. "This can be used to repair broken time," she said. "But remember, every choice creates a new fracture in the fragmentation of time." Like everyone else, Hita had forgotten his name. Names no longer held meaning in this world. Every morning, the same sun rose. The same stars fell. Yet, everything was completely different from the day before. He was searching for a constant within this variability. The crack in the sky grew a little larger each day. Perhaps it was the flow of time leaking from there. As he gazed at the crack, he felt the past and future blending together. In this world, anything was possible. Memories lost among the broken fragments of time. Dreams forgotten. The star-eyed woman had given him a beacon of hope from beyond time. The time machine was complex and mysterious. When he touched the machine, he felt the tremor of thousands of years at his fingertips. The gears inside the machine were turning time itself. That day, he pondered his conversation with the woman. "Every choice creates a new fracture," she had said. Could he make the right choice? Was it possible to mend the fractures of time? Or would each attempt drag him into deeper solitude? The crack in the sky widened with each passing day. As he looked into this fissure, he could feel the flow of time. In this world where the past and future merged, everything happened in an instant. That moment could be as long as a lifetime or as brief as a second that slips away. When he touched the time machine, he felt his entire being vibrate. The machine trembled in his hand like a living entity, seemingly holding the power to unite the broken shards of time. Yet, he did not know how to wield this power. Would every choice he made create a new fracture? Or could he restore the flow of time? The woman's words echoed in his mind. "In this world where time has shattered, we can be complete together." What did she mean? Could he repair time with her? Or was it merely an unattainable dream? That day, he made his decision. He activated the time machine and traveled to the past, to the place of his fragmented memories. There, he might be able to correct the course of time and find the woman who had vanished. Perhaps all his efforts would only deepen the fractures of time. But he could not know without trying. Stepping into the dusty pages of the past, he had arrived at where it all began. This was a time when time itself was still intact, and everyone lived knowing their tomorrows. But now, even this world was under the shadow of broken time. Looking around, he saw unrest on everyone's faces. Were these the first signs of time's fracture? He placed the time machine in his backpack and began to slowly survey his surroundings. Here, among the memories of the past, he might find the event that caused time to break. With every step, the sounds of the past echoed in his ears. The laughter of children, the shouts of street vendors. Everything was so vivid it felt as though time had never shattered. But he knew the truth. In the place where time had broken, everything was an illusion. He was searching for the reality behind this illusion. Perhaps the star-eyed woman had left a clue here. He examined every corner carefully, scrutinized every face. And finally, he found traces of the event that had caused time to break, deep in the past. Following the traces of the event, he found the moment that caused time to shatter. It was a moment when a decision was made, altering the fate of the world. As he circled this moment, he tried to understand how everything could go so wrong. The time machine still trembled in his hand. The gears inside were ready to turn, to bring together the broken pieces of time. But he did not know how to assemble the correct pieces. Each piece represented a memory, a choice, and each choice would lead to a new outcome. He decided to change the decision that caused time to break. Perhaps this could fix everything. But there was doubt within him. Could this decision lead to a new disaster? Altering the flow of time was dangerous and unpredictable. That day, he activated the time machine and set out to change the critical moment. The gears turned, and the flow of time began to shift slowly. He could feel this change. But what would be the consequences? Would the fractures of time be mended? Or would it create an even deeper rift? The flow of time had changed. After altering the critical moment in the past, he returned to the future to see the state of the world. The sky was now brighter, the stars clearer. People wandered with a light of hope on their faces. Perhaps the fractures of time had been mended, but he could not find the woman with starry eyes. It was as if she had vanished into the depths of time. He searched for her every day, looked behind every star, examined every crack. Her absence had created a deep void in his heart. The time machine was now silent. Its gears had stopped, and the flow of time was fixed. He tried to restart the machine, but it was futile. Time no longer responded to his touch. That day, he realized that everything had a price. To mend the fractures of time meant to accept the woman's absence. Perhaps she was a part of the broken time, and her absence was a consequence of its repair. It was the first morning in the new world. The sky was filled with the light of stars, and everything shone as if signaling the repair of time as fractures. He was alone in this world. The woman with starry eyes was absent, but the hope she had given still lived in his heart. That day, as he watched the sunrise, he saw a star shining in the sky. This star was different from the others. It seemed to be sending him a message. He followed the light of the star and found a door at the place where time's fractures had been mended. This door might have been a passage to a new beginning. When he passed through the door, he found himself in an unknown world. It was a world where time was not broken, where everyone lived in peace. And there, he saw the woman with starry eyes. She smiled at him and said, "You have mended the fractures of time. And now, a new story begins." He took the woman's hand and stepped into the new world. The fractures of time were now a thing of the past. Their story would continue beyond time, under the stars, forever.